Hey everyone, how's it going? My name's Shani and I am a part-time reseller, and this morning I have a ship with me. Today is Friday. It is October the 17th. I am off work today. Normally I have like Wednesdays or Thursdays off. I do work 4 days a week as a hospice on-call nurse, I used to be an on-call nurse. I'm just a hospice nurse now. I work during the days. I work 4 days a week, and I have to say it's not a bad gig. This week it's starting to pick up. It normally does during the back half of the year. It does pick up. So I'm getting a little bit busy at work, but today I am going out of town. So I requested having today off as my day off. They don't really like me to have Fridays off unless it's occasional. So she did give me this today off. And so I just chose to do my ship with me video today instead of last night. I am going out of town. There is, if you've ever heard of War Eagle, Arkansas, they have a big craft fair there every year. It's an annual thing. I've never been, but one of my very best friends from back home in Kansas has went yearly pretty much. And so I am meeting my two of my very best friends, and we are going to stay there and check out what it's supposed to rain. So we're having to play things by ear, but anyway, so welcome to the channel. I have 5 packages going out, 6 items going out. I did not do a video last night or Wednesday night because Wednesday I had no sales until that evening. I ended up with 1 sale. And then yesterday I was going to go ahead and do a video, but since I had this morning off, I was like, nah. I went ahead and packaged the packages, most of them, last night, but I am shipping out today. So anyway, it's kind of been a slow week for October. Usually October you really start to pick up, and I feel that on some days, and then other days it's like nothing. And maybe this is the new norm for fourth quarter. There's been a lot of changes in the last few years since COVID, and I just feel like really over the years it just kind of ebbs and flows. So it changes from year to year. I don't really have an opinion. I do know that my opinion is fourth quarter does pick up, but it's just been, fourth quarter to me has been inconsistent over the last couple years. I've had really good fourth quarters, or I'll have a really good week, and then the next week is crickets. So anyway, 2 not so great sales, but old items, and I'm glad to get rid of them. One is an old item. The other one I'm just willing to let go. And then 3 pretty decent sales. So yeah. And then I have a couple of one of you reminded me about my crafting, and I had forgot to show you guys my little Christmas crafts that I did recently. So I'm going to show you that at the end. So, okay. Get my water. All right. So these, I had 1 Poshmark sale, and the rest of them were eBay. Oh, I should have grabbed my little, sorry, I got to get my little fuzz roller. I feel like I'm in a time crunch because I want to leave by around noon to 1. I have to pick up a quilt I had quilted. I'm so proud of myself. I don't really say that a whole lot, but I really am. So my grandmother taught me how to sew and quilt, and I normally, she did a lot of the, she rarely ever like quilted her own quilts. She would always take them to someone with a long arm because she did not have a long arm. And a long arm is a machine that does the quilting. and you stretch out your quilt, and it kind of puts the top of the quilt, the bottom of the quilt, and the batting in between. It puts it together. So anyway, she didn't do a whole lot. So a lot, like I sew the tops and then I take them to a quilter, and I don't really like to do my own binding. So I also pay for them to go ahead and bind it. I don't feel like that's cheating. Doing the tops just brings me joy, but I lost my grandmother almost 12 years ago in a car wreck, and she was one of my very best friends, and yeah, that was super hard. And so since that time, I have not quilted. I have done baby quilts, like a rag quilt for nieces or nephews that have been born. I've done little things, but I have not done a big quilt. And I just was motivated this year to really get going, because what's the sense of having all this fabric everywhere and this sewing machine and everything I have for it? What's the sense of having it just taking up space? So it was kind of like, I knew I would one day get back at it, but grief doesn't have a timeline. And so I'm just excited, because this is the first quilt I have quilted since, or I've finished since my grandmother passed. So anyway, I'm picking that up today from my quilter. I'm so excited. It's a Christmas present, although it's for my son's fiance. It's actually, she's never gonna watch these videos, I don't think. I don't think a lot of people I know even watch these videos, but because I don't really promote myself. I think it's I don't know, I guess I feel weird doing that to my friends and family, but anyway, it is a birthday or a Christmas present for her. It's all of her sorority t-shirts. I made a t-shirt quilt, and I'm actually starting on my son's. I had all of his t-shirts from the time he was in T-ball up into college, and so his quilt is gonna be pretty big. And actually it's gonna kind of have some on the back side of it too, just because there were so many t-shirts. But anyway, when I get that, I will show you all. I am just proud of myself for sticking to it. And my husband said this morning, your grandma would be proud, and I know she would. And I'm just super excited to pick it up and get it, and I will show you guys. But anyway, it all, like when your quilts come together and it finally, like, it goes to the quilter and then you get it back and it's just so beautiful, and you think, okay, I did a good job. So anyway, so thank you for reminding me that you like to see my crafts, and I know it might not be for everyone, so I try to kind of just throw it on the end for you. But okay, back to the show. Thanks for joining. If you're new, I like to ramble. I don't edit my videos, and this is what you get. My hair's normally not done. My makeup is normally not done. Every once in a while you get the good Shannon, but this is what you see is what you get from me. So, all right, this is a vintage Harold's sweater. My title is Vintage Harold's Women's Silk Blend Wine Lightweight Sweater, size medium. Okay, let's talk about Harold's, because many people don't know about Harold's, but I know that I don't even know if there's Harold's stores anymore, but it is a very expensive store. Okay, I mean, it's not designer expensive, but it's pretty expensive. Career, old money type store. Kind of like, correct me if I'm wrong, but I kind of feel like it's like a few steps up from like Talbot's, Chico's. They have a little maybe more, I don't want to say younger pieces, but I think you get the picture of what I'm saying maybe, but it's a few steps up from there. So it's more pricey than those. And if you go to buy Talbot's brand new or Chico's, I'm sorry, they're expensive to me. And it's probably because I thrift most of my clothes, that when I go shopping, I'm like, have these people lost their minds? But Anyway, so since it was a silk blend, and I was familiar with Harold's because back in the day, my aunt is a court stenographer, I think is what you call them, the court people, the court reporters. And she did a lot of her shopping for her work at Harold's in Oklahoma City, and I know it's not a cheap brand at all. So here's the crazy thing. Resale value is horrid on it. Even though it was a silk blend, I thought it would sell. It's really old. I've had this probably 2 years, and I have reduced the price on it, and it finally sold for a whopping $6.29, and my net profit is $3.84 on this. So not my recommendation to pick up Harold's, even if it's a silk blend, because it didn't work for me. But anyway, it's going out, and it's getting out of my bin. I'm trying to clear out this bin. It had old vintage stuff in it. I'm trying to hang up as most as I can on my rack over here that you can't see. But there's like sweaters and stuff. I don't want them to get the hanger, you know, indentation. So they are still folded in that bin. So I am very happy to see that go. And then I also sold this yesterday on eBay. Excuse me. This is a little baby Old Navy overall, denim overall. My title is Old Navy Baby Girls Size 0 to 3 months Denim Overall Dress. How cute is that? And I posted this for $7.99. I did pick this up this year in a lot, in one of my bag sales. And I bought it for 65 cents on April the 9th. So that was my cost of goods. I received a $5 offer on this, and truthfully, I've told you all, we're in fourth quarter. If I receive even a decent, you know, was I gonna lose? You know, I lost $2.99 on this by taking that offer, and was I willing to take this into the next year for $2.99? No. So even though my net profit is $2.97. It took up very little room. It helped bring the cost of my goods down in a bag. And I am getting rid of it before the first of the year. So I'm fine with that. And even though it's only $2.97, I'm okay with that. So, okay, those are the two not so good sales. Now we're gonna go to the, well, 4 items, but three sales. This is a Poshmark, and I really thought okay, I think the size, I know the size for a fact was why it didn't sell before now, but I had a lot of likes on this. I picked this Madewell skirt up on May the 12th at my local Goodwill for $4.83. I think I actually got it on 75% off day. But that was still my cost. It is a brand new with tag Madewell size 4 midi skirt. I think I figured out what the name of the skirt was. Let me go to it. Madewell women's wrap midi skirt size 4, true black linen cotton blend. And then I put the model number or whatever, and then new with tag. So it was new with tag, and it was probably a gift because someone had cut the price tag on it. But look at that. Is that not the cutest? It's kind of got this button and then it opens. So pretty. And it's lined. The first like quarter of it is lined, but it is a linen blend. I really thought this was gonna sell, quicker than it did. But I also know Madewell used to used to not be able to hold on to Madewell because it was selling so good, especially the jeans, and now Madewell just sits for me. But the factor of it being a linen blend and new with tag, I really thought it was gonna sell before it did. But I think the size 4 is what hurt it, what hurt it not selling so quick, if that makes sense. So it sold on Poshmark for $32. Like I said, my cost of goods was $4.83. And my net profit then on this is $20.77. So not bad. Sorry, I just had someone walking by. So that's why I I'm sure my neighbors all think I'm insane. That's okay. It's nice to be the insane person, I guess. It gives them something to talk about, you know. If they're talking about me, they're not talking about someone else. They'll be like, that's that weird woman that talks in her garage. I'm sure some of them know what I'm doing, but anyway. Okay, 2077. I'm glad, you know, May. Had it a few months for sure, but I am happy that it's selling. And it's going out in a 10 by 13. All right. eBay. So I put up some junk auction lots for jewelry. And I will not tape them on camera, but I'm going to show you what I got. So the first, you guys have seen a lot of lots. This is a junk watch lot. I'm going to be honest, there's a couple watches that are working in here too. So junk watch lots sell very well. I'm just going to say there are people out there that they resell watches, they repurpose watches, they can fix the watches and then resell them. They use them for their parts. Very, very talented people out there that do that. And there's some really cool ones in here. I just decided to just put them all in there. And what I do is when I buy the lot, I bought a lot yesterday. I should show you. When I buy the lots and I go through, what I do is I separate. I do watches, silver and gold stuff that I want to resell. And most of it is all costume jewelry, but watches do very well. So once I get kind of a group of stuff, and last week I was like, okay, I need to clear out some of this stuff because it's getting a little overwhelming to me. And I feel like my space is overwhelming right now. I know my husband thinks it is too, but so I need to really get going on cleaning some stuff out. But anyway, I didn't have a whole lot, but I went ahead and posted what I had. And it ended up being 5 pounds and 15 ounces. And even though it's a small box, it is heavy. It's every bit of 6 pounds. So I put watch lot, 5 pounds, 15 ounces for parts, repair, not working, vintage to modern. This sold for $38 plus the shipping. And my net profit on this is, I donated $3.80 to my charity, and my profit is $28.19. So this is a way to recoup some of the money that I spend on those lots. Excuse me. So like yesterday, I will try to pick this up. It's about a 50 to 70 pound lot. She doesn't really quite weigh it. She fills the box, and then her and her husband are like, yep, that's about 50 to 70 pounds probably. And it is every bit of 50 to 70 pounds because I got it out of my truck and brought it in here. But I paid $175 for it. That is a good price. If you buy junk jewelry lots on eBay or anywhere else, that's a good price. And just to kind of give you an example, I bought a Goodwill lot not too long ago that was 4 pounds and I paid $40 for it. So that's a good price, really good. So one of the ways I recoup some of that money is with these junk lots. So this one, you know, I got $28.19 back on. And then I posted 2 strictly junk lots. I've talked a lot about them. My titles are huge lot, vintage to now junk jewelry for crafting art, or for crafting art, tangled, broken. I had one lot 8 pounds, 5 ounces, and one lot 10 pounds. And so the same person bought both of them. This is an international sale. I like international sales, actually. So here they all are. It's really heavy. And they bought one of these for $32. The other lot sold for $40. So they were all in $72 plus the shipping. All I have to do is package it and ship it to the international shipping station. eBay handles the rest. Don't let international sales scare you. It's actually the easiest it's ever been on eBay. eBay does everything for you. You ship it there. And from what I know, they inspect it to make sure it meets, you know, what you said it was. And then they repackage it. I believe they repackage it. And then they do the customs and everything else. They all do that on the back end. And a lot of times if the international buyer, if they start a return, eBay will not accept it, or they handle their return and it doesn't affect you because they've inspected it. So anyway, that is all I know about it, but I know that it's the easiest it's ever been. And I love to sell internationally now, but anyway, yeah, they were all in with their shipping and everything, $93 once they paid their shipping. And I donated $7.20 to my local charity. So that's awesome. I donated $10 off of all of this jewelry lot. And then my net profit on this is $60.33. So that is super amazing. So I will get those together and get them to the post office. I forgot to schedule a pickup, dang it. That's okay, because the post office is on my way to my quilt lady, so I will just swing by there. So, you know, this week hasn't been the greatest, but I can't complain either. Even though I'm leaving town, I'm coming back Sunday. Today's Friday. I do 2 to 3 day shipping. So I don't think I'm not going to shut down any of my platforms. I'm going to let it ride, and I'll probably just send a message to the buyers and letting them know, like, hey, I'm out of town, but I'll be back Sunday. Because I actually have one auction lot ending today. It ends this evening, like in 8 more hours. And it's a junk ring lot. And so that'll end today, and I'll at least have one sale today. So anyway, that's what I have so far. I know I did make another sale on Poshmark. You guys know you get the good, the bad, and the ugly with me, but it was this Chico's brown, kind of a nylon athletic pants. And I've sold several of them. I bought them in a bag sale, and there was like a ton of them, like 8 or so. And I've sold them, except I had one pair left. And when I was kind of cleaning up, a couple of them I found some issues with. So I deleted those and adjusted quantities and all kinds of stuff. But what I did is I left the listing for a full length pant, because I had them in full length and I had them in cropped, because I was thinking it was a full length. Well, it's a cropped. And so I sold them yesterday. I realized my mistake. I sent them a message and I said, hey, this is my fault. I'm mad at myself because I've been making some stupid mistakes on Poshmark. But part of it is my delister's not delisting from Poshmark, and I need to just be more intentional about, like, when things sell on other platforms, I just need to make sure that it's working and it delisted. But part of the problem with Poshmark is if for some reason someone likes it and you send them an offer, but then it sells on eBay, Poshmark will not delist something if it has an active offer on it. And that drives me a little bit insane, because I feel like that's where most of my screw ups happen, because I forget to go back in and delete it later and then it sells. Yeah. Anyway, so I sent the buyer a message and was like, hey, this is my problem. If you will accept the cropped ones though, I'll ship them. And then I have this Chico's jacket I'll ship you for free, because the jacket on the end, that black and cream, that is a Chico's, and it's the same, it's a size 3, it's the same size. So I was gonna give them that jacket for free as a I'm sorry, but they never got back with me, and I have to leave town, so I just had to cancel the order. So that's my mistake. It makes me very mad I made that mistake, because I've had like 3 mistakes on Poshmark. I was like, they're gonna send me an email, like I'm in trouble email. So they might, I don't know, but anyway, who knows? You can only do what you can do, and not stress about the rest. So, okay. Now on to my crafts. So thank you for watching, but I'm going to show you 2 little Christmas crafts I've made. You all see me pick up a lot of little little ornaments and things in these bag sales, or when I go to the Goodwill outlet, if there's things I can craft with, and I usually say I'm going to use this for crafting. So I just wanted to show you what I've done. This is the first one. So both of these mugs I thrifted. They were both colorful. And I watched this video, you can kind of tell it's crackly. I watched this video on how to take a painted coffee mug and turn it into like the old vintage crock stoneware, crackle with crackles in it. And so my friend and I, we tested it, and you can maybe see the cracking in it. It was a learning process, because the first crackling stuff I had did not work good. And I was like, this doesn't make sense, because and I bought that stuff at Hobby Lobby. And I was like, this is not the way it's supposed to work. I don't know if it was bad or what. So then I bought some, and we'd already done like 3 layers. And then I bought some off of Amazon with good reviews, and it did the trick, I think. But I think it was kind of like having to work with what was underneath it too. So anyway, what I did is underneath here is like the flower foam for floral arrangements. I use flower foam in the bottoms of my vases or cups, and then I apply my little decorations on top. These are a couple of ornaments, and then I've added like a present, and this was something I thrifted not too long ago. And then I add a little couple vintage ornaments, and then I glued some snow down. And then I like to use I spray Gorilla Glue. They have Gorilla Glue in a spray, and I spray it all over, and then I take the glitter and I put them on it. You can see he's got like snow glitter on him. So, and then I just added the bow on this one. So there's that one. Is he not the cutest? I love them. And the more I look at them, I'm like, I really do love them. And then this one, I thrifted all of this year, I'm pretty sure. But I just added a couple old ornaments and the deer, and yeah, so this was a painted Christmas coffee mug. You can kind of see the red underneath where it was red. But anyway, these are so fun to make, and they're so cute to look at. And, you know, they don't sell the greatest at craft fairs, but I just have, most people that go to craft fairs, we go to support other crafters because we love, and you know, when you buy something from a craft fair and you give it away, it seems like people are like, oh my goodness, that's so cute. But I feel like unless someone's buying it for a present, it's hard for them to spend that money at Christmas time. But anyway, I just do it. It's a relaxation for me. It, you know, it gets my artsy side, and that's good for my brain because I don't consider myself a artsy craftsy person, or my brain to be, but I know that it's very good for my brain. So anyway, yeah, don't ever be afraid to just start something, because it is so fun. And my friend that did it with me, she had never done something like this, and she I know she's just been so happy with how hers turned out, and so that makes me happy too. So anyway, these are my 2 Christmas ones I've done this year. I have a lot to do. The next few months I'm gonna be getting busy. So all right, thanks for watching. This video was a little bit longer, and I appreciate each and every one of you. You all have really shown me some love in the last few videos, and I just want you to know that your sweet comments mean the world to me. I appreciate all of your constructive criticism and ideas that I can do with things that I pick up, and I just think you're the best. So have a great day, have a great weekend, and I'll see you hopefully Sunday night.